Why are the doorknobs put on the outer edge of doors instead of in the middle? This hinge board will show the reason. The board tilts up on a hinge and may be lifted by pulling up on any of these eye hooks along its length. If we pull up on the eye hooks with a spring scale to measure the force needed to lift the board in each case, which eye hook will require the greatest force? The inner hook takes the greatest force to lift the board. Heavy doors are easiest to move if the handle is on the edge furthest from the hinge. This wood T-bar has eye hooks at regular intervals along its length. If we hang a 1 kilogram weight on this hook, a person can easily lift the weight off the table with a twist of the wrist. When the weight is hung on the middle hook, it becomes more difficult to lift. If we place the weight on this hook, it becomes very difficult for a person to hold up the bar. This animation shows the force due to the hanging weight and the magnitude of the twisting force which is needed to support the bar.
We'll use this meter stick and a fulcrum to construct 3 kinds of levers. Here is a setup known as a Class 1 lever, where the weight and the force are on opposite sides of the fulcrum. Notice how the force needed to balance the lever changes with the distance from the fulcrum. This is a Class 2 lever, where the weight is between the fulcrum and the lifting force. This is a Class 3 lever, where the lifting force is between the fulcrum and the weight.
This torque wrench will be used to demonstrate torque measurement and shear strength of bolts. When the wrench is placed on this bolt and the handle turned, a torque is exerted on the bolt. The force producing the torque bends the shaft of the wrench slightly, with the amount of bend readable from this pointer and scale. Let's apply some torque to this aluminum bolt and see what happens. The bolt breaks under only a small torque. Let's try this bolt, which is made of hardened steel for greater strength. It takes a larger torque to break the stronger bolt. This animation shows the forces that act on the wrench and the resultant torque on the bolt.